Another thing I want to add that San Francisco and California didn't understand because you're the biggest assholes on the planet. The reason 221 came back, UCLA, psych ward, New York, the Italian Roman Tribunal, not the Bureau de Veritas and the Hague of Dirk Van Damme or the Rompicabessa on the coastlines, Coast Celebre, with the empty buildings that are beautiful, not some cheap-ass banks. When a man comes up to you and says, I work for a Bureau de Veritas as a lawyer, and I was a scientist in the Netherlands, and God created Earth and the Dutch built the Netherlands in engineering, and you were a phenomenal. I defend children who were born with uncanny, unnatural talents in space science and engineering and physics and stuff like that. I've never met a girl like you. You're dead. You're the Disneyland replacement child. You came back in a blimp in time. There are buildings around the world that are empty. And those are fucking Americans are still fucking denying that shit in Fresno, Frisco. And they're fucking stalkers. And they're fucking bitches. And they're fucking assholes that are at Dolores Shelter following me en masse. So we have The Hague. And whatever happened with the nails and the fall down of the ship is old news on the News Globals. You can't change what you already lost, you fucking retarded piece of shit. I've been trying to tell you that ages ago about me, which you denied, while you're sitting on your fat ass with your PhDs and your limos. So Disneyland came back to tell you that the Coast Celebre around the capital cities wasn't brought back as Disney so you can be fucking psychos to her. Connect the dots, Globals. And I'll explain that later to you. 214-214-221, 147-221. Those buildings have platinum heads around the world. In the metros, in the UN, and stuff like that. And they're not only on the metros, the platinum heads. You can put, Mark, why don't you put all the professors and the deans in Western Europe and La Sapienza with the white hairs in the metros? Say that again, you motherfucker. How cheap ass you are in the US. Phenomenas don't grow on fucking trees. If you smash a girl's head in on the coastlines, she becomes Phoenix. Old news on the news, little nails. Old news on the news, Globals, yeah? So shut up. Now, this is Scotland film. As for the Roman Tribunal, the Federal Roman Tribunal, these hospitals were gave official documentation. They had a problem with Disneyland. Why? Because she's not psycho. She doesn't have psychosis. So if you abuse her in the shelters in Frisco from Fresno or whatever, that you allow it, your government is paying for that through the Federal Tribunal of Rome. Because you're psychos and bitches and federal prisoners in LA from Fresno. What you're doing in Frisco, that's high school. That's all news on the news. They could see it coming even in high school. Why? Because they know who the fuck you are. Retard. From Fresno. Stalking the baby. I used to be on the coastlines. So don't give yourself fucking credit for shit. There's no central in Fresno for the barons of CIA. There's nothing in Fresno itself. The only thing that attracts the Central Intelligence Agency, with the hanging benches of Laura Quintus and Ali Direct defending the parents, is the intelligence, which is what you're not, Fresno. Your intelligence is not Central. Your intelligence is not FBI. Your intelligence is not Interpol. Your intelligence is not Scotland Yard. Your intelligence is not the hanging benches of Laura Quintus and the Supreme Court in DC and Langley defending the parents and Natalie Direct. To death on all the flyings and runnings of that girl and the goddamn fucking dead crawlies of me. And I used to work elsewhere, so much for multitasking. After smashed in head, what the fuck did you lose on the coastlines? The big one, 221. You don't even know how to read your fucking Bible for children at the age of 5. Chucha they. They brought back Disneyland. Now you know. You speak about intelligence in your fucking degrees. Stop comparing yourself. Because when you fucking die, no one's going to fucking empty any buildings for you in space sciences or technology, La Sapienza or in Woolwich. And if you think men in black children don't exist, they exist. 221 came back as Disneyland to let you know that we are not out there boasting our tits and PhDs for you. The only thing I have in common with Jamila is the eyebrows. Do you understand, little nails? In those genetic freak schools in the UN. Do you understand all news on the News Globals? Angels. Are you fucking retarded? By now. Because this is all news on the news. So don't fucking start with me and your pretenses. Now, for your psychos and your jealous bitches, because that's why they started the gossip. When I was on the crawlies and literal crawlies out of Fresno, around the capital city since I was a child, and I was vomiting about jealousy and envy. Why? Because that's what you are. You are animals. Do you see this or not? That's why it's called celebre. Because to them, not only did they lose the shit on the coastlines and they continue with the plum has, the Manhattan Project of the 21st century, better to lose with the most intelligent on the planet forever and ever than to win with the stupids. Well, thank you, Barilla, ex-mayor of Rome, his wife. I was a caregiver there in Rome for 2 months with him. I don't care if he's corrupt. You should do no less than hurry up, staying in Rome for retirement. So shut up. Okay? Now, considering this is old news on the news and it's not worth blabbing again about, the hospitals and stuff don't want to give me medication. They gave me very little. You see, over there, they had prepared for the worst. It was like, they got every disease on the planet. They were trying to do this. They expected it for Disney. That's why they had the Roman tribunal. That's why the hospitals were just sitting there and saying, shit on fucking Fresno. Because true doctors, real doctors exist. True nurses, real nurses exist. There's bad doctors. There's bad nurses. There's bad teachers. For instance, I'm not a teacher per se as a pedagogue. Okay, I didn't impart any fucking pedagogia to you, Disneyland. I can give you the basics though. Good bad time here and there. Shit. So stop being assholes, okay? Now, the Scotland film is to stay in Rome for retirement. Now, considering the Roman tribunal is federal, there are levels in the Roman tribunal. The problem with the Roman tribunal is that if you kill me, it's going to be again the Hague. Because we already had one Hague, you see. So if you kill a Disney version of that girl, it could be the Supreme Court of the Roman tribunal, the top, the highest murder. I only have 147-221 left of Disneyland life. I will not be reborn in the genetic school. Blimp 221 comes and goes, okay? The problem is she already has the Hague. She already has the Bureau de Veritas, and she already has the Roman tribunal with the asswipe 221, who can sat, connected those globals nails, all news on the news around the world that many times. You already lost that shit, bitch ass. So on my crawlies out of Fresno, for the parents. Now, I was born in Rome, in the Wormhole Project to the worm of the United Nations and so forth and all the shit. Now, 80 countries and 25 states connected dots, globals, I did. I'm 50 years old and I'm not going to complain about it. It's 10 years fucking out of Fresno. On the crawlies, literal crawlies, sorry. For the parents, that many times. There's the flyings, okay? The hanged bitch, the Lord went to Night. There's the flyings. Many times of that girl. There's the runnings of that girl. And then there's the crawlies of me. Okay? Now, why I say that girl, I'm obviously not her. But there are relics of that girl. Olaf Sigurd. Therefore, everyone has their own crumbs. Everyone has their own background. I don't like the Mossad. Stop calling me names. Back to you. Considering that I don't care for Opus Dei and all the blessings on the planet, I cared more for the Dar es Salaam neighborhoods and those capital cities. Everyone sleeping mode for 20 years, phenomenal, died, had her head bashed in, the whole fucking world, from Western Europe to Rome to London to Warsaw International to Berlin to Russia to Cairo to Saudi Arabia. Okay, on my literal crawlies. And I spent a lot of time on my literal crawlies in the Dar es Salaam neighborhoods. So shut the front door. They know me by name. So at this stage, I don't know what to tell you about the dead baby. And that's not even mentioning the parents. Okay? All right. So the parents are born in pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. All right? So they're not born in capital cities. They're pioneer champions at the age of 5 and everything. They're hired as D1s, directorates in DC. Osro, TCUI, USA, 160, 180 countries will work for him and 140 for her. Now, the retirements of Fresno that you have been, again, trying to deny, that doesn't even call celebrity. US, too many flyings and too many runnings. And every motherfucker on the planet noticed the runnings, or runnings and flyings on 85, 85 of that girl. Okay, at the end of 85, 85, the genetic ages of the parents, the unheard of Bigfoot DOJ parents, the feet of Baba and Mama, above still the libraries, I get my head smashed on the coastlines. Okay, I come back like this. Fee. Finish. Living standing in a house. They speak about blues out there, eggs, pink. It's not going to reopen. The building is because you smashed your head in. That's not how you make Ubermensch. Which means, in Western Europe, what's our national treasures is your fucking trash on the coastlines that you smashed your head in, and that was one of our leaders. 2, 2, 1. So if they start writing love letters overnight, 10,000 love, and I don't even fucking read them from those guys in Western Europe and Russia, Siberia, and UN, Woolwich, and others, I'm not going to read them. Why? Because they're obituaries, you fucking bitch! You want that intel? Well, couldn't stop for a minute. Disneyland. Split second Disneyland 2-1 and you jealous of that shit. Fuck you. You're gonna get this shit up your ass, buddy. In other words, you can abuse the kid, but the kid eventually picks up. Why? There are kids like that. Unfortunately, Disneyland was like that. Stop comparing yourself. But I can kill it. Okay, go ahead. At this stage, I can because bitches, his love is my bitches. I can beat her. Okay, then explain to me why that shit is void. Explain to me why there is a ghost child around the capital cities. Well, the rest of the intel communities are saying that this is a sore point missing in the intel communities because you smashed your head in on the coastlines and that's fucking empty because she's fucking dead, Jamila. The original girl. And you're going to be sitting there and saying to me, I don't give a shit about Watership Down. I get this whole news on the news. The nails, I bet I got PhD. I got this. You walk down the street with your tits. You want to fucking kill me. Are you ass? Between Frisco and San Francisco. And Fresno. I feel like, I don't know what you are. Are you sick peninsula? You're going to say to me the science is in here. Sure, Elon Musk left. But I might get you so visitors to visitors. Much more than visitors. Even to Frisco. That's why when I get out of Fresno, I go to the capital cities. I'm moving. I'm now 50 years old. I already spent 4 years trekking. I already spent 4 years and a half in the Mediterranean with those guys on T-shirts, 696969. Theo Haufen is 666. You shit. You're not thinking. And none of you assholes as agents are going to get to the coastlines through the baby. You're not going to get shit from me. You're not going to get shit from the CIA with the plum has. Shit! Deadly squad! Just like I'm dead, you're not going to get anything out of me. And if you want to make it worse in Fresno, let me put it this way. That many flyings and that many runnings in the middle of the desert of California and that many dead crawlies with Watership Down going down ages ago with that girl, with Woolwich as an extension and Italians sticking by the dead baby, all news on the news, the nails. You dead. Use your fucking head, assholes. Disneyland can tell you this shit. I'm not going to be scared of you fucking cheapos and assholes. Back down, animals. Disneyland, you're saying to me about the zoo globals, the birds, the cats, the dogs, the birds going round in circles ever since I had the rompicabezas on globals. Trying to fucking get Fresno. Trying? The intelligence of Fresno. From the very beginning to the end. Tom and Jerry Diretals, his buddies, his friends, his girlfriends. That place, the intel there, the hospital, the nursing homes. We know who you are. Do you realize, ladies, that your behavior caused that shit on the coastlines with a smashed in head, with your useless boyfriends? Do you realize that the hanging benches of Laura Quintus and Natalie Direct, defending the parents that many motherfucking times, had to be sent to Fresno so you could have your little limousines in Fresno? The worst town in history in the US. What are you going? For power games? With your 5X bras? Oh, you have a degree. Bravo! Disneyland at the age of 5 with no teeth watching the emptiness at La Sapienza. Like this thing. Girl, you were phenomenal. You had your head bashed in. What about the Skull Glen film? Wouldn't it be better for us to see you out for a diamonds? You assholes! And I'm not the one saying it. Don't even start. Disneyland? You know, intel. Shut up your mouth. I don't have pretenses like you. I'm just telling you. The reason they liked that girl was because she really was what she was. She was flying and running. She didn't have time for anything. You smash her head in on the coastline, she come back like Disneyland for a split second. The only thing in common with the original Jamila is my eyebrows, and my eyebrows are fucking platinum at the age of 5. Told you it was something platinum there. Still. And you still, I'm not thick as shit. You smash my head in on the coastlines and I have a hole in the wall. Miracle. Ayats. Bayatsi. You need Disney to tell you that. We're staying on roll for a diamond. So you have 147 to 221 to make it happen. In Fresno, you should have long ago space bombed if you don't want to fucking bomb it. And believe me, if you had actually bombed a place like that, I'm not the one saying it. I'm not the one with the t-shirts on the East Coast. I'm not the one with the cats and dogs and the birds going around in circles, the zoo globals. I'm not the one with the cement trucks for over 20 years in Brussels and George and all that shit. He's not my husband. He's from New England, like you, New Hampshire, Graft City, Hookaset. The parents are from New York, California. I'm not the Germans. Who are not even my people. Speaking about space breaks for a girl who had her head bashed in, come back for a blimp in time to tell you goodbye. The Manhattan Project of the 21st century, go to la merda. I'm not the one doing this. This is old news on the news for the nails. That's not the parents either. You're stupid and bad. That's what I'm saying to you. You're bad. And it's not even me saying it. I'm sorry, guys. You don't have parents like that. You just don't. Most of you don't. Pioneer Counts beyond the capital cities, pioneers, D1s, Austro, TCY, US8, and they're staying D1s. They're already directorates. Everybody love them there. The vitriol from Fresno can shove up your cheapos' asses. The amount of pain I felt for the knowledge of what had happened to that girl, I have to ghost her. Bad enough, motherfucker. Make it look rosy through me. Yeah, the tip of Greta Thunberg on the coastlines. And still looking at me is like, why is that empty? Why did it have platinum heads? What are you, stupid? Of course they stuck with that girl. She was a phenomenal. That's not the parents either. I was born in Rome. I wasn't born in Pioneer Counts beyond the capital city. I know directorate D1 of Austro TCY USA, Humanitarian Relief Service. I was into sciences. We're shit. Oh, shit. You could have employed some of the sciences for the good of society. I haven't said that. You smashed the head in off that girl. What the fuck do you want? A byproduct of stupid times. Okay, the white blues are pig. They don't belong. Net to me, the Disney version, net to my original girl who had her head smashed in on the coastlines. A 221. Before, and then to the family. You stupid. They call that Roman. You can give all the fucking blessings. The Vatican, based abroad. The Opus Dei, based abroad. The Brits, based abroad. The inner circles, based abroad. I love Accia di Genetica. Germans, based abroad. The Russians, based abroad. The Saudis, based abroad. The Arabs, based abroad. What's international, based abroad. Make it count. So US. Take responsibility for your actions, for your inactions, and that would be George, the Morganagist. The problem isn't this. On the East Coast, they did what they had to do. What the fuck are you waiting for in California? You're better. In the middle of fucking desert of California on retirements. Keep them out, keep them in. You go there and do what you have to do. From the beginning to the end. You don't have to listen to this one. Listen to the fucking worlds. Listen to the fucking global zoos by now. The cats and the dogs are telling you this by now, and the birds and the bees. You're retarded and hateful people. Sending me your fucking psycho bitches coming up with me with 5X bras, I'll fuck kill you, or some nurses calling me names. If I look at your fucking cheap ass in Fresno as nurses with your big ass tits and your assholes, if I look at your fathers and your mothers and who the fuck you are in history, very soon you'll be off the fucking history list. And no one's gonna fucking reborn you as Ubermensch in Western Europe. As crumbs, as relics of the original girl. With the empty buildings. After you smash my head in on the ghost lines. So shut your face for the blimp in time. Alone. I didn't go through hell and back in 80 countries, connect the dots global just for myself, so you could sit on your fat ass and be bitches to me in Fresno. For the parents, you can forget it. After so many flyings, after so many runnings, and after the growlings of me. I don't know where you were born, in which country you think you are to be so arrogant. Of course the CIA has platinum heads with her. You want to go there? You want to move there? And maybe you move out. Huh? Careerists. Careerists in Fresno. For both parents. Careerists in Poland. My father had an injection in the lower part of his stomach. At the age of almost 76, Mama was taken out. Fake eviction. Poland to Russia. The rule of law with Natalie Direct. At the age of 5, I was born with Laura Quintus in the Vatican together. And she's your Supreme Court Justice. One word from Laura Quintus for the last 25, 30 years. Everybody in D.C. goes, yep. She's a genius. In the Supreme Court in D.C. and Langley defending the parents. The Supreme Court Judge Robertson was supposed to be my best friend. In elementary primary school as a teacher. And Laura Quintus sitting there right next to me. And Natalie Direct going, You sick? This has been going on for too long. There's a Scotland film to stay in Rome for retirement. You shouldn't go break that beach. Oh, right by that beach. Go ahead. It'll pass. Then if somebody comes and shoots your ass, they'll be like, why did they do that in the blimbo time? Why couldn't I? I'm a man. I'm a woman. Fuck the bitch. That's what they see in you, US. And you did it on purpose. You're not getting away with any of it. Now you're getting away with the void because you lost our intel. It's not your head that was smashed on the ghost lines. It was mine. And the others fell with her. Men will fucking sink ships if they see that kind of phenomena. They will fly with that girl. They will run with that girl. Elsewhere on the ghost lines and around the world. And you, darling, sitting on your fat house, are going to be looking at Disneyland and saying, we smashed our head in on the coastlines. We're so happy. This is called celeb. Why did they bring back a dead baby in the place of Jamila, the original? For what? Tripod standing? So you can feel good about yourselves? When you figure out what this is about, please let me know. Because this is old news on the news and but yeah, globals. To each his own, bitch. Empty buildings. What are we living for? Abandoned places and buildings around the world. Manhattan Project 21st century. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Even my enemies, the Germans, said it. They were decent. They were decent like Ryan Davis. They were decent like the Brits. Why? Because she was a phenomenon, Jamila. You stupid bitch. Why do you think BBC, Channel 4 and Messager are still speaking about the dead baby? Why they bring her back for Plimpin' Time 221? Who are the parents? The pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. Directors, Z1s, Australia, ZY, USA. 160, 180 countries, 140 countries work with helicopters, humanitarian relief service. You're nuts. After all the flies of the go, runnies of the go. Yes, like I gather the growlies. You shit. There's all news on the news if it's even news. Of course the psych was and everyone has turned around. I already know what Fresno's trying to do to that poor girl. You already had the Roman Tribunal in high school with Jodie Foster. I got out of high school at 14, 15. I was in the fucking UK for free in college. Honors programs. You say to me I'm fucking nuts. Okay, abuse the baby. I don't care. She's still the best student. She's still the best gymnast. She's always at the back. She's treated like shit. Eventually, from crappy to candle in the wind with ass wipe. You'd be sitting there going, oh, that's bad enough. With floating barriers on the ghost lines and all swears around the world. With the blonde hats, you'd be sitting there going, I'm the best. I'm the best. Shit. They bring back Plimpin' Time. You still have a fucking hole in the wall. After you smash your head in on the ghost lines, you speak about intel. Fuck it all, I get losses. Alexander Dobio, the historic Vatican blessings in Rome, historic Opus Dei blessings, historic Brit, historic this. Ah, it's all news on the news and nails. Who gives a shit? She's dead, bitch. I can do anything I want. I connected the Dos Clubhouse for myself. Why? I have no clue. They said to me I had to and I did. What about the parents in Fresno? No PhD does anything. Shit. Oh, yeah. Stop comparing yourself. My goodness, Disneyland is trying to give you the basics of Greta Thunberg the tip and you still don't get the basics in a bit of time. Why the fuck I came back? And you call yourself intelligent? Where? Smashing somebody's head in on the ghost lines, come back like Disneyland. That's intelligent. Giving yourself fucking excuses for that and still hating the girl when you know she was famous for beautiful shit. And by the way, she didn't like the Mossad. Just nobody does, quite frankly, other than the Mossad. Sorry. And some groups, that's it. So don't be Here. Thick as shit. Back to kindergarten. So please, and stop insulting me. Alright? Because believe me, if you're already up there, hey, the Bureau de Veritas, the Roman Tribunal, in an asswipe, that's so. You have crumbs somewhere else. In specific places, and then you have, and if you have the very last one, if you kill and assassinate Disney, the innocent one, for the last few socials, you get a second Hague. So you feel good about yourself. And that's for the baby, that's not the parents. So when the others in Western Europe and around the world had known about this long ago, because I was born and raised there, in the UN in Rome, like the others, many Americans are there. Even the Americans there are like, what the fuck, this is retarded. Because they have brains. They're not going to be sitting there and joining forces with your tit-ass, shit-ass Americans on the street going up to me and saying, I'm going to smash your face, I was military. Well, the other Americans abroad are looking at this like other Americans in other places. They have half a brain. They see this thing and what they say. What they say. That shit's lost. You don't like the concept of J-Lo because you yourself didn't do it. You're coming up to Disneyland, who already had her head smashed in on the ghost lines, who is innocent, connected those globals. She's not her original self who had her head bashed in with the beautiful buildings empty. You don't excuse that kind of behavior anywhere, let alone in the US. Anywhere, not even in China. So don't speak to me about cause célèbre. It's not a question of evil. You evil people. Because you don't think. And it's not a question of thinking. It's a question of controlling your bitches and assholes. The fact that you don't care because everything is the same. In other countries, they saw that. So, oh, wow. When they smashed the head of the girl on the coastlines, came back like Disneyland, you start, what? Giving me your fucking rap of what? Your rap? Your personal experiences in life? How is that comparable to that on the coastlines? Please give me your comparisons to Disneyland. Quit it. Around the world. Quit it. Because that shit's empty because I'm dead. And they ain't reopening the space shit. Ne alla Sapienza, ne in Woolwich, ne in Massachusetts, ne in NASA, ne in NASA. That shit was new, and that's the old news on the news. But you don't give a shit because it's old news on the news. But that shit doing it. But that fell was this is Scotland landfill. It won't change anywhere on the world. That's lost. The new shit. Elon Musk even moved to Texas. I grew up with Elon Musk's family. They were in South Africa. They moved to Rome, some of them. Some relatives like Shinoa Butter and others, satellite owners, parents who were owners of satellites. You know perfectly well that that's the Elon Musk family. Vanessa Musk. Icky fingers. Mascara. Genetic freakos. We're not freaks. And by the time you figure out, but they're saying to me, darling, we don't have that shit empty. We're just regular oops. You, on the other hand, you shouldn't be in the school. You should still be in St. George's. You should still be alive. That shit's empty. You had your head bashed in. That's not how it happens. That's a fucking miracle in itself. The analogy of Bochron element not being the variant element on Wikipedia Free Encyclopedia. So when you're speaking about the phenomenals coming out of that shit, that's what is famous, as much as you don't believe it. You think that the men in black children don't exist. We exist. I'm dead. I'm an example of a dead one that you smashed on the coastlines and got that social security number 221. Then they said, well, that's because she's Russian, Saudi and international, Western European, UN, Woolwich, and she was famous. And then she's known for having her head bashed in. Exactly. That's why they made it a cause célèbre, asshole. And that's not even mentioning the parents in Fresno retirements. From the pioneer camps beyond the capital cities champions, as children, D1s, Austro TCY, USA, their jobs. In 160, 180 countries, 140 countries. Respective work. In other words, respect work and the hanging benches. What do you want from my parents or retirements at Fresno, you cheap asses? And if you're going to think that I'm going to be scared of you as Disneyland, think again. I've seen the devil and I come back. You don't scare me. You don't scare those guys with the hanging benches of Laura Quintas and Nadia Direct, how many flyings and runnings and little crawlies. Yeah, the cement trucks, the cats and dogs and the whole fucking shit that want to go to Fresno and do what they have to do from the beginning to the end. Of my crawlies included, literal crawlies. Fuck you! Are you ass? And you speak about Martin Snowden. He was sciences. The colonials. He's a cyber with white hair. I think, darling, you were the best. I know. But I'm gonna win. Look at me, I'm Disneyland. You've lost it. You've lost it. And you're gonna be coming up to me and saying to me, "You fucking retard. I got a PhD, I got a limousine," and I'm looking at this shit in Disneyland going, there's Mother Teresa, Calcutta, patience, and there's, fuck you. I ain't no patience with this shit. And then they make this shit look rosy through me like this, a rose. This rose, this little baby, this little Disneyland. I'm looking at them and saying, fuck you making this shit look rosy? That's bad. Exactly. Okay. I went back to Paris. You know what? Italy, Woolwichers, Warsaw Internationals, the entire Russian Federation, Saudi Arabia, the Arabians. But I didn't go to Turk, where Grandmama came from. We got those people. That's just what I'm saying. I don't want to go to that. So yeah, let's just go into this, please. Let's just briefly. Hurry up with the Scotland film. 147 to 221. No sacrifice whatsoever for us to stay in Rome for retirements in the Mediterranean. Nah. Have you seen The Italian Job? Okay, that's a good one. There. In other words, speech 8. And as for Fresne, alla faccia di Roma. Cats and dogs, but now. We're staying in Rome for retirements. I'm Roman. For Fresno. You see, I'm taking it personally too. Regardless whether the work was on the Ghost Lines or elsewhere. Scusa mia. You can do all the flies, all the runs. I guess, like I get the glory. Get them. You understand that? I'm not kidding, man. Your country, US, is... things don't become famous and known beyond famous. Yeah, the royal family doesn't get this coverage. I'm not kidding you, US. I'm not kidding you. I mean, the Dar es Salaam neighborhoods know my name. This is absolutely non accettabile. Under any circumstance, don't give me this thing of high school. Don't play games. I only have 47 to 2-1. This is very recent. Heine was recent. Grabsky was recent, even with the eye swipe. You are losing. You are losing and losing and losing. And you see, if you want to put down somebody, don't sign psychos. You're not only extremely jealous and insane and angry at everything, you lose. You lose with The Hague. You lose with the Bureau de Veritas. You lose with the Roman Tribunal. You want a second? Hey, go ahead. I got 2 split seconds of life left. I'm not being reborn in Rome. Pinky is not coming back. Blip. 2-1. Goodbye. They did say stupid times in Intel. And Delph is Delph. Literally is Delph. De nome di fatto, caro. The original. Shit. Now you have intelligent killers as relics. Ain't gonna reopen nothing new. That girl you smashed on the Ghost Lines. And that's why you don't believe it. Even if they bring back a dead baby, even if La Sapienza has empty buildings and Woolwich and other places, Massachusetts, Essen, Nassau, you will not believe that. So what does no math? Yes. That was the historic colossal share. That's why the Chinese and the others in high school and the UN were saying you were historic and we brought you back as a blimp 221. They're not getting away with smashing your head in on the Ghost Lines. That shit's empty because you're dead. And those guys who have the platinum hats will stick with you in Rome and Woolwich and the other places. Why? Because you were what you were. And you are the replacement child that looks similar to her, only with the eyebrows. And that with the eyebrows are white, platinum. There's some platinum in there. That's all news on the news, the nails around the world. Globals. Connected dots globals. What are you, stupid? You really are bad people. I don't know your pretenses, US. So the Scotland film is simply to stay out of this country, my kind. Okay? And Disneyland. By now it's no sacrifice entitled to stay out. And that's it. You have 147 to 2-1 of geological rebel to make it happen for me, and that's it. And keep that shit away, because Candle in the Wind, she'll take the abuse, but after some time, no la vedo. Krabby was already bad enough because Krabby took absolutely everything. Everything. Where it was real, unreal, true, non-untrue, everything in Fresno. Okay, it's great, an emotional punchback, but I was strong. I was like a crab at the beginning of the asswipe social security number, in that respect, even if I wasn't the same girl. By the time the number had finished, I was like, little baby candle in the wind, because they couldn't look at the pain for the parents, for both parents. You understand that? Do you understand this or not? understanding child. Disney for them. The Indios child. Instead of Disney. You'll understand sometimes why they make these masks. And they say to me, be a sweet pea for the bears, do this. Look, I had a problem with Diana. You don't have to be Dugamella with white hairs. Oh, shit, at the age of 5. So do me a favor and stop what cannot be changed in Intel. With the watership down ages ago with the nails around the wells will not be changed for you. For anyone. What you lost for overs and evers. Blimp in time is telling you that. And the good part is this about the phenomena. The phenomena girl became Fifi overnight when you smashed her head in on a ghost night. Phoenix. Okay? I don't know how they did it, quite frankly. Ugh. There's a legal and illegal. Rompicabezas is the most illegal. So that's the egg. So let's not, no. You kill the child again, we will kill you. We will simply kill you. Because you're being retards in the US. And it's not going to be Russians or Arabs or Italians or Brits. Could be a fucking German. You retards, US. For the baby alone. Therefore, we're staying in row for retirement. And that's not the parents of Fresno either. Therefore, we're staying in row for retirement. You understand that? Good. We got to the kindergarten audios on the news around. Also, if it's even news. Goodbye.